Chances are, if you're watching this video, it's around the 16th of March, because that's the release date of this video. If you don't know why that's so special, that 16th of March of this year is when my channel turns 1 year old. I know it's not exactly a lot of gaming channels are way older than that. I think it's pretty cool, and I thought for this, I wouldn't do like a compilation like I did for 20 subscribers. I thought I would do a compilation, or not a compilation, a list of games I used to play. So, games that got me into gaming. But what games did I start off playing? I never had a computer back then. I got mine when I was 8. Although, I did have a laptop, but mostly that was just like my parents for like emails and stuff, and I'd be like, I'd take it off them when my iPad's out of battery, and I'd just like watch Stampy Longhead all day. So yeah, that was fun. But I did have a Wii, which I never really used, and an Xbox 360. Well, I feel like most people who watch gaming nowadays and like into the kind of stuff I make are like 8. So I'd like to give you a warning. This is when I was like 5. So you're not going to know a lot of these games. Just a little warning. We're going to start off with the Lego games I played on my Xbox. What are these Lego games? Well, I had Lego Jurassic World and Lego Indiana Jones. I was into Jurassic World and dinosaurs, but I have no idea why Indiana Jones was there. Like, I had no idea what that was. And to be fair to 5-year-old me, I still don't know what it is. So if I don't, but although I think my friend was pretty good at it, I had some friends, and one of my friends would come over and he'd play it with me. If I remember, the farthest I got wasn't very far. It's like this warehouse bit. It's like this giant warehouse, and I think you have to like sneak around, and there's like the jungle bit afterwards. You might get stuck in a jungle. I don't know if it was canon or not. If it was just like a little fun little like Lego Batman, Lego Marvel superheroes, where they just decided, oh, it's not actually gonna have anything to do with the movies. It's just gonna have the characters fun. I don't know. But I didn't think it was that bad. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It wasn't good. I didn't really enjoy playing it, but there's nothing about it which makes it bad. It's not exactly bad, but I won't call it perfect. Lego Jurassic World was really good though. And this one's actually canon to the movies this time. Although they made it in... The only problem I have with it, it was really good, but the only problem I had was that because Jurassic World is surprisingly quite violent, surprisingly, it's a dinosaur, they had to change it a bit for the Lego audience. So I was very confused when I saw the movie, for the first time when I was way older, like 9. I saw the movie properly, and I was like, but where's the part when the raptor guy shoots the gun and the banana comes out and he gets left behind on the island? No, didn't get that. His face got eaten off. That didn't scare me though, but I was very confused. Where's the banana? So I do think it was a good game. 9.5 out of 10. But it kind of surprised me a bit because it's a bit violent for something Lego should be associated with. But I guess kids think dinosaurs are cool, and they did go with the Simpsons once. Oh wait, another Lego game. I guess you could call this foreshadowing for something that we're going to be having a little look at later on. But Lego Dimensions. I don't know what to say about it really. I never really got far in it. I do know there was like the starting level with the Wizard of Oz, and there was the there was the You Shall Not Pass Man World Style and Batman. I remember they were like fighting the witch, and there were all those monkeys everywhere. It was a bit strange, but I remember the Simpsons one. That was really funny. I like how it like messed around because like you know The Simpsons. You'd expect it to be like an actual bad guy, like, I don't know, Mr. Burns, I think I expected, because it was in Homer's work. And I was like, there's gonna be Mr. Burns boss fight. How cool. No, didn't get that. Lord Business and the Joker. And I was like, well, what's this? Well, I will say I got this when I was a bit older, like 7. But it was still quite a new game. And it was really, really good. Most of these games I'm talking about, like, they would... I thought they looked cool when I was little, but they just look... I've seen 2D pixelated 2D games that look better. I mean, it doesn't say they're bad, but it kind of like... Because there's a lot more variety with, like, 3D, 2D, whatever, so it looks kind of bad now. But that was like a new thing, so I wouldn't expect it to be any better. Also, when you're 7, you don't care about how your game looks. Is it nice and colourful? Even story makes no sense. I could easily be talking about shows over here. I used to be a big fan of In the Night Garden, which I surprisingly really enjoyed. I nearly expected where you had to play tag with the airship and the train. I expected a little cave dwelling monster to come out and clean all the rocks and scream into a trumpet. The blue guy with the chicken thing on his head, red chicken like head thing. Obsessed with his blankie. There were the giant balloons. I was scared of Maka Paka. Yeah, I didn't care. As long as it's colourful and had a story that I found was funny, I didn't really care. So, Lego Dimensions, I'd say 5.5 out of 10. I never really got far into it. I think it was a bit too complicated for me. Especially how you had to like get all the characters and place them down. Might remind you of something now. Not mention it later. I'm gonna bring it up right now. So you have characters and there's like a little portal thing. You can put the characters down and spawns the Lego. Then you can like hire little heroes for like a minute to do tasks if you can't do them. Otherwise, I'll have to go shopping, and I don't like shopping trips. So that really irritated me. Although I do like that they hired a hero. I don't think they did that with our next game. I'm not saying like it's a bad game. It's probably my favourite out of the 2 games I'm going to mention I had on the Wii. But today I'm going to talk about, you probably guessed at this point, Skylanders. I'd never really enjoyed. I thought it was kind of like, it was like Crash of the Titans. You know, the Crash Bandicoot game. How many foreshadowings are there going to be? Oh, sorry for that. I'm sorry. I'm a fan of that game. But yeah, it's basically like that. I had the portal thing and everything, but I remember I never really got all the figures. The only one I do remember, and I saw it a couple of weeks ago, is like this birdie dragon thing. It's like a phoenix, like a bird dragon. It was red. I remember my friend, the same Indiana Jones Lego one. He normally come over with his, and we never got really far. If I remember, there was like this prison thing, and then it went to this like Sky Fortress, and it was really like loud and everything. I don't really remember it because, as I said, I was 5. I literally just learned how to say elephant. I'm not gonna remember Skylanders, am I? Although I do remember some games that I did play a bit before that, especially the ones that we're going to be talking about next. So yeah, I'd give Skylanders a rating of 6 out of 10. They tried to keep me entertained, but I never got into it. Second Wii game, it wasn't exactly a game. It was more like a group of games. I got it for Christmas when I was little. Yeah, I stopped playing it the very next day, and it was mostly played by my parents. It was like this Kinect thing. It was like VR before it was invented properly. So it's like you have this bar and it's supposed to like sense like where you're moving and stuff like that. And you can like play games and you're moving around like with the character. It's like a VR but you don't have the headset. It's like that. So it's alright, although the games were quite hard. It was like this sport game. I remember it was like this raft building one. I still don't know why to this day. I still don't know why my parents chose that a sport game to show off this clearly rather interesting type of game at that time. But I wouldn't complain. I'm sure if I actually knew how to play it, it would probably be very, very good. So yeah, those are the Wii games covered. I'm pretty sure there's like Mario Kart as well, but I never really got into that. Until I was like 7, I got my Nintendo Switch and Wii U. Switch came out. I got my Switch a bit later than my Wii. Until I was like 7, I got my Nintendo Switch. A couple of years later, my Wii U. I mean, yeah, I had a Wii U, but I also had a Wii, and they worked together. So yeah, my next game, I'm pretty sure you could also get it on the Wii. I've also got this one on my computer along with one of them, which I'm going to mention later. The final one, because it's the favourite. I'm sorry. Sorry, other games. But yes, I'm going to be talking about Zoo Tycoon Ultimate Animal Collection. It's not as good as the other Zoo Tycoon games from what I've seen. Although it was made by Frontier Developments, they made Jurassic World Evolution and Planet Zoo, so they're good. So, from what I've seen, they're good. There was a very good variety, and the zoo limit thing was annoying. There was variety, but there weren't a lot of different animals. It was just like variations, like oh, what, you want to get like okapis and things like that. You want to get anteaters, like we have got. No, we don't. Here you go. How about you have a critically endangered giraffe? That's conservation. But it was good. It was a good zoo building game. It wasn't bad. 8 out of 10 actually. Ultimate Animal Collection is very, very good, and it could have been better, but I will live. I'll live. I'm not gonna die. Speaking of games that don't fit with the other games in the series, Crash of the Titans from Crash Bandicoot. You know this game I'm playing right now, platformer and racing game. We don't get that. We get Skylanders, but without the toys and the portal. No, and also the worst designs I've ever seen. Literally, they try and remake it, but the new devs, Sierra, don't know what the game's supposed to be about. They just go whatever they want. They make Crash look like a hiney with huge arms. They improved Nina. She doesn't look like an egg. Crunch looks like a fox. Coco looks creepy. And we don't talk about that tiny, whiny tiger, as I like to call him. I got to that part in the game and it is awful. Like I'm not even going to talk about it. But like you know, I got that far in the game and I'm like, this is not tiny tiger. He's this huge evil gladiator, Tasmanian tiger. No, here we have a real tiger who's whiny. He works in like a mine. He's like, Crash, I'm really cross with you. I'm trying to do my job and you're causing all this chaos. Like, well, too bad. And then he's like, sorry, you're going to have to eat your face, but you are awesome. I'm like, this is not tiny. Aku Aku looks like a monkey. And Uka Uka looks like an explosion. Engine was alright. Also, I like how he roasted the game developers by saying, you don't even look like a Bandicoot to Crash design the game. Like, he's a hyena with huge tattoos on his big hands. Like, why? Why do they make him like that? And why is he wearing shorts? He does wear shorts in the game, but like these really creepy shorts. They're not like cool looking shorts. They're like scribbles. They just got normal shorts and scribbled grey things on them. 4.5 out of 10. They tried to make a new gaming thing, but failed completely and made people absolutely hate the game. I'm a bit more generous, but it's still not as good as the other Crashes. Next up, we have the next Crash game, Crash 4, Wrath of Cortex. It's a lot more Crash Bandicoot-y than the others, than the other one, Titans. Although it did copy Crash Bandicoot Warps a bit, and the bosses in Crash Warps were absolutely weak. I don't like what they did with them, but it's okay, I guess. Crunch. I also like what they did with the bosses. They changed the names of the bosses to be like levels, not like the names of the actual things you're fighting, just like a clever little name like Atmospheric Pressure for Lolo and Crunch. Crunch is a boss he's apparently supposed to be. He's a boss in every single thing. He fights with these element masks that Uka is friends with. I like those masks in Crash, it's about time. Except this time Akaraku's friends with them. So Crunch works with the elementals like a power source to make him evil, and he's supposed to be like the Bandicoot Crash is supposed to be. I thought that was quite cool, but like oh no. It was definitely the best Xbox Kids and the best game I played when I was that age. It was definitely the best one I had. And there were so many good levels like Cortex Vortex, Crash Steroids, Crash and Burn, Fahrenheit Frenzy. The water levels, no. Sinking Feeling and no, not Coral Canyon. That Sinking Feeling and Coral Canyon, both of them are the number 9, and they're both awful. Let me go over why. That Sinking Feeling, you fly on a cricket which shoots out missiles. And on Coral Canyon, you just float around in a submarine. All you do while octopuses try to kill you. H2O no and seashell shenanigans were okay. And the water boss drain damage was... I'm pretty sure it's like IGN, like a popular like gaming review website said it was the best Crash boss ever. It is sort of a copy of Dr. Entropy from Crash 3. Speaking of that, it's supposed to be canon to Crash 3, yet it never explains how Uka Entropy and Cortex got out of hell as babies. Like, even if they did like do it in the way Crash 4, like got out, Uka freed them, and Uka didn't get knocked out, they just left, and they grew up. They could have at least showed us. Because it leaves people like me who never heard of the first 3 Crash games until then very confused, leaving us all scratching our heads as to why they're complaining about not being able to kill Crash. Yeah, there's no like things following up to it, and we don't see anything. Like, I used to think that was the first game, and I thought it went to Crash Twin Sanity, because Twin 2, and then Insane Trilogy, because 3. I was a bit stupid when it came to Crash Bandicoot back then. Though I thought that Twin Sanity was Crash 2 and Insane Trilogy was Crash 3. So yeah. I definitely like Crash to the Wrath of Cortex. I think people hate it a bit too much. Hey, I can do more videos on it. I did one a few months ago. It wasn't very good. Although I do remember my story of the level Crash and Burn where I associate with Nando's. Basically, my friend was talking about Nando's while I was playing the level, so now I associate with Nando's. That's a stupid thing to associate a level on a volcano island with. But okay then. Okay, I guess. If you want it to be all about Nando's, like it's a volcano island, there's no Nando's on there. So yeah, those are all the games that I used to play when I was younger, and what do I think of it? Crash Bandicoot Battle Cortex, 10 out of 10. It's not as bad as people make it out to be, and it was actually okay for me to play, and I beat it. So I do think it was quite cool. Of course, looking back, I do think they could have done the Crash 3 bosses at all. They didn't treat them the way that they should have. Although I guess it's good because we didn't even get Tiny or any. We didn't even get Tiny Tiger in Crash 4. It's about time, so we might as well just not care about it. Like we should, but you know. So yeah, that's what I'm saying about all the games that I used to play when I was younger. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.